Whoa, see that big splash there? So you see, when I went through that puddle, the steering wheel pulled a bit towards the left. Right now it's raining heavily, and to drive in these conditions is kind of difficult. So the first thing you want to make sure is that you can turn the wipers on, and you know how to do it. So in this car, it's just a matter of pushing it up, and that's for level 1, and then the more rain there is, the higher you push up this lever. So I'm just going to put it on level 1 for now. I'm also going to put my headlights on. It's just going to make it easier for other road users to see me. Let me indicate left to come out of here. Do all my checks, because it is quite busy around here. I'm going to come out slowly, still checking everywhere, and just controlling my clutch just so I don't go too fast as I'm coming out. So in these kind of roads, or in these kind of conditions, a lot of pedestrians don't look properly when they're crossing the road, so you have to bear that in mind. And if the rain gets heavier, so like now the rain's getting a bit heavier, I'll put my windscreen wiper a bit higher just so that it keeps it clearer. And because it's really wet, I'm going to be super careful about how I'm braking, and the braking distance is going to be doubled now because of the wet conditions. So I need to be super careful how I brake, and if I come across any situations where I have to stop in an emergency, I need to be really careful how I do that as well. Hopefully we're not going to get into that situation, but if we do, just bear in mind the car is going to take a lot longer to stop. Yeah, so looking out for puddles as well, because in this kind of heavy rain, puddles can form really quickly, and if you drive through a puddle at high speed, you can easily lose control of the car. So if I do come across any puddles, I'm going to show you how to go around them safely. Yeah, so we've got this car inching forward, but I think he saw me, so that's fine. Check my mirrors on the right. Still in 3rd gear at the moment, which is okay for now, but if I need to go slower, if I'm approaching roundabouts, I'm going to go into 2nd gear, but for now I'm just remembering that I'm in 3rd gear. Because of the stopping distance is increasing, I'm keeping a nice distance between me and the vehicle in front, longer than normal. I'm further away than I would be if the road was dry. Just in case I have to stop, it gives me more time to stop smoothly without crashing into them. So you see this motorbike in front has got its indicator on for quite a long time. Let's go left here. Mirror signal left. And then I'll go into 2nd gear, bring my clutch up while I'm braking smoothly, and then I can turn into there nicely. I've got another mini roundabout coming up, so I'm just going to start reducing my speed. I'm checking for any cars coming from there that are indicated to turn towards the right, but they're not indicating, so I can just carry on. Going a bit over the roundabout, I don't have to go all the way around like I mentioned in my previous video. Make sure you check that out if you're not sure how to do roundabouts properly. You don't need to go all the way around the circle, you can go a bit over if it's safe to do so. So I see a sign there for a sharp bend towards the left, so I'm going to go that way as well. I'm just going to slow down. I see a police car, flashing lights, so I'm just going to reduce my speed. Then the road bends towards the left, so I'm just going to follow it that way, checking my mirror as well, nice and slowly around the bend. And keeping it nice and steady. I don't want to go too fast in this estate. Keeping it nice and slow. I'm still in 2nd gear. Checking my mirrors as well to see who's around me, who's next to me. When you're driving, be really nosy. Don't just focus on the front. Look everywhere. Look behind you. Look what's next to you. Look on this side. Have a good picture of what's going on all around you, so that if anything happens, you already know what's next to you and who's behind you. Braking into this bend, taking it slow, trying to keep to my side the best I can without going too close to the curb. And as well, you see I'm leaning a bit over because I want to see as much as possible around the bend before I go there. If I sit like this is going to block my view of the bend and I can't see what's coming around the corner. Here, have my clutch ready in case I need to stop or go really slowly. Yeah, checking the left from earlier as well as I'm going around this bend. Yeah, the earlier you see into the bend, the more prepared you're going to be. So make sure that if you can, you look in early into the bend. Even here I can see some lights, which means potentially a vehicle is coming towards us. Yeah, I saw the lights on the reflection here, on the reflection of these cars. That gives you a few more seconds head start than you would if you just looked only in the road. Here I'm going to turn left to the end, so mirror, mirror, signal left. Not sure where this van is going, so I'm just going to give him space, but now he's signaling to go towards the right. Once he's out of the way, I'm going to position myself towards the left, check properly, check both sides, and then make my move. Into second. I can see a sign for a mini roundabout, so I was going to go into third gear, but the mini roundabout is not that far away, so I'm just going to keep it in second for now. Checking my mirrors to see who's next to me, who's behind me as I approach this roundabout. The bus is coming out, they're going quite slowly, so I'm just going to give them some time. I'm concerned about anyone coming from that side, but so far there's no one. The moped he arrived once I was already on the roundabout. I think the bus was going slowly because of this pedestrian walking in the road. So I'm just going to take my time, give them space as well. So whenever another vehicle is going slowly, ask yourself, why are they doing that? Sometimes it's for a good reason. And that was because the pedestrian in the road. Now this car behind me has got its 4 beams on, and I can't see properly when I look in my mirror, so I'm going to use my anti-dazzle feature, which is this. So if I press this down, I can still see them, but they're not blinding me so much. And then I've got the zebra crossing. Yeah, slow down. I didn't know this person was going to cross, but I thought they might cross because we were going to meet here together at the same time. So then I started slowing down. So the mistake a lot of learners make is when they're approaching zebra crossings, they just assume that the people are not going to cross. That's not the right way to think of it. Think of them as they're going to cross. That way you're more prepared when they do decide to cross. So here I'm just going to slow down a bit. Lots of people near this bus stop. I'm not going to be in a rush to go past it. Get into first gear, check my right mirror, no signal needed. Everyone knows where I'm going based on my position, and also people expect me to go around it anyway. Here I'm going to turn right, so mirror, mirror, signal. Let me put my mirror back to normal because that guy's gone now. I can actually position myself a bit over the zebra crossing because that's where the giveaway line is. And then once I see a nice gap, I'm going to go forward. This guy's turning, so I can go here into this section here. Let the bus make his turn. Once he's gone, check the left again, and then, well, he wasn't gone, but I could move still. So we've got a big puddle on the left here. So instead of just driving through, I'm just going to check my mirror on the right, go a little bit towards the right and then back towards the left. Signal left to go towards left first exit, checking the right. It's nice and clear. So if it's a really big puddle and you're not sure how deep it is and it's safe to go around it, just go around it slowly. Don't drive through really deep puddles if you can go around them safely. What you don't want to do though is avoid a sudden puddle by doing a big turn towards the right or a big turn towards the left. If you have to drive over it, just drive over it. Don't do any crazy turns just to go over a puddle or to go around a puddle. Zebra crossing ahead is looking nice and clear. Checking my mirrors. I can see someone's behind me, but it's all good, so I can carry on now. All the time looking out for puddles, because if I see a puddle I can slow down a bit, especially if I see it in good time. I can reduce my speed slightly, but if I see it too late, then it's going to be a bit harder to deal with. Yeah, check my mirror, go a bit around this one. Got a zebra, not zebra crossing, pedestrians walking towards the island, but they need to wait for us. I want to go into this lane here because I'm going to be turning right at the traffic light, so I'm just checking my mirror and then I'll cancel my signal as well. And because there are big puddles on the other side of the road as well, be prepared for other drivers trying to go around them. So sometimes other drivers will try to avoid puddles. Just be aware of that. So here is quite a bit of traffic on this hill. I'm gonna get my biting point, add a bit of gas as well, remembering that I'm turning right at the traffic lights. Looks like everyone's stopping, so I'm just gonna keep it in first for now. No, everyone's going in this lane, so let me go in second. Mirror, mirror, signal. and then now they're stopping. So this lane had stopped because up ahead there's lots of traffic. That's why no one was moving. But this lane was clear because people could turn right. There's nothing stopping them from turning right here. You notice I've gone into neutral, put my handbrake on. I didn't have to do that, but I know this light is very long, so I have time to kind of relax my feet. And then once the light starts changing, or once I can see that there's no one else coming from the left and the right, I can then start preparing my car. But if you're not comfortable doing that yet, then don't. Just keep your car in gear 1 and have your clutch ready to go, or have your clutch down, and then when it's time for you to move, find your biting point and go. It's just less steps for you to do. Once you get really experienced, it doesn't matter too much about whether you leave it in neutral or not, because you can do this really quickly without an issue. I'll show you what I mean. One thing I forgot to mention as well is, because it's raining, right now you can see the windows steaming up a little bit. That's because the AC is off, because the engine is just switched off due to the stop start. But if you have AC in your car, when it's raining like this, you might as well put it on, because it's going to keep your windows clear. So now a bit of gas, biting point, bring my clutch up smoothly, checking both mirrors, especially the left one, to make sure no one's coming up too close to me. And I want to aim for the left lane here. I want to aim for the left lane. These cars have to give us way. And then once I'm here, adding lots of gas. And because the AC is on, I don't have as much power as I would normally have. So I need to put up lots more gas than normal. And then I'm going to overtake this car here. But then it's going into 40 miles per hour. So then I can just reduce my speed to 40. This car's going even slower, so I'm just going to stick to this lane so I can go past them. I don't want to go behind them and then go really slowly. I'm going to go past them using the middle lane. And also, I don't want to cut back too soon to the left as well. I see a lot of learners, they're too anxious or too eager to go back to the left lane. You don't want to do that. Okay, I'm just going to slow down a bit here to go past these stationary vehicles. I don't want to go past them too fast. Getting into second and going into first gear. I'm going to check my mirror. I'm going to go into the other lanes nice and clear. So I'm going to check my mirror, keeping an eye on these guys as well, because sometimes people there change their minds and they want to go into this lane here. Let me go into the far right lane, just because these two lanes merge together and I want to be in the right. It's a lot easier to deal with when I'm in this lane. So I'm going to practice changing lanes a bit in a second. So I'm keeping an eye on the cars on my left, yeah, to make sure that that car does stick to his side, and he does. Well, he did, but now he's in my lane. So I'm just going to slow down a bit, reduce my speed slightly, checking my center mirror to see who's right next to me. Remember, it's raining, so I'm going to keep a nice gap between me and the vehicle in front. And then when they're slowing down, I slow down as well, nice and early. Get into second. Looking ahead to see what's happening. So the car in front is indicating left, so he's probably doing that for a reason. I think it's because the lane in our lane's blocked, so that's why he's indicating left. So I'll do the same, but I'm not going to be in a rush to change lanes, because people can't see that well in this kind of conditions. I can't see that well either because of my mirrors, they're a bit wet. So I'm just going to take my time until I'm sure that it's safe. Right now I see lots of cars coming through, so it's definitely not safe at the moment. So if you get, I don't want to say the word stuck, but if you get stuck in a lane like this, don't just sit here like this. Try to go around, but don't do it in an unsafe way. Put your signal on, and that way people know what you're trying to do, and then when you have a safe gap, then you can take it. But don't be in a rush to do this. So like now I can see a nice gap after this Mercedes, check over my shoulder, and then I can make my move, keeping an eye on that car in front of me as well. Yeah, so it can be done easily, but just don't be in a rush. So you see, I was talking about puddles. Those cars are slowing down a bit because it was really puddly there, and you don't want to go through them too fast, like I was saying, otherwise you can easily lose control. Yeah, puddles everywhere. Lots of splashing everywhere as well. Okay, so I want to go back to the left lane now. So center mirror, left mirror. There's a car next to me, it's a bit behind. I'm going to let him know what I want to do, then I'll see what he does. So he's not getting closer, so that means he's letting me through. Then I can go into the lane. Yeah. So once you've let people see your signal, If they're not getting closer and closer, or if they back off a little bit, then you should make your move to change lanes. And some people are probably thinking, oh, this guy, why didn't you say thank you? Don't have to say thank you. You're better off maintaining the car and controlling the car than thanking somebody. Yeah, it's not that deep. Especially on your test, don't be trying to be nice and thank people. Just focus on controlling the car. That's the main thing. Yeah. Here I'm gonna turn right, third exit this roundabout. If we're lucky, we might get some water splashing on us from the flyover over there, which happens sometimes. So if you're not aware that it might happen, that can be quite scary. But now I'm thinking about this roundabout, thinking about where I'm gonna go, thinking about how am I gonna signal when I get there. So when it's traffic like this, it's kind of a double-edged sword, because you're lucky because you have time to think about which way you're gonna go, how you're gonna signal, how you're gonna position. But when it's busy like this, it usually means it's harder to get onto the roundabout as well, sometimes. So we'll see when we get closer. Making sure I keep a nice distance between me and this car. And then now, I'm gonna check my center mirror, right mirror. Oh, there we go, see? Water splashing from up above because it's really, really rainy today. Okay, taking my time to also assess what kind of conditions are there on the roundabout, because that will give me a good idea of what to do once I get there. Thinking about where I'm going to go as well. Also looking to see if there's any big puddles in the roundabout, which can affect the way I'm going to there as well. Sometimes there's massive puddles in there, and if there is, I don't want to drive straight into it. I might have to go around them. I can see already there's a big puddle that these people are trying to go. Sometimes they're going around it, some of them are going through it. So once I see a gap, make sure this car's gone first. So I can see a car coming towards us. So now it's our turn to be on the giveaway line. If I can't see properly, I might want to open my window as well, like this. This gives me a better view of the road. And then once I can see a gap, I can make my move. Close my window, into second, keeping to my side of the road, which is the right-hand lane for now. And then I know this is the second exit. I don't want this one, I want the one after, so I'll signal left. Big puddle on the right there. Checking my left mirror for any more cars. And then coming off, cancelling my signal. And then into third. So I'm gonna join the next lane on my right. So mirror, mirror, signal right. Checking my mirrors. Maybe even a little blind spot check as well, because I could sense something was there. But just to double check, I checked over my shoulder, and that car was in the other lane, so it was fine. Into fourth. Now some learners ask me, oh, if it's okay, I see a big puddle there. That's what I was talking about, puddles, guys, yeah? I'm just gonna slow down a bit because I saw lots of water going into the air. You see? Whoa. Okay, let's go into third. I might want to use the middle lane here actually, just because the left is really flooded. So I'm just going to stay in the middle for now. So yeah, I was saying a lot of learners ask me about the speed. They say, oh, but it's raining, so I should go a lot slower. You don't have to go really slow just because it's raining. You need to drive in a way that you can control the car for those conditions. Yeah, so if it's raining, if it's a little bit wet, you can go faster than normal. So you can go faster than you can if it's like super rainy like it is now. Yeah, or it depends on the kind of road you're on as well. Depends how far you can see. Is there puddles in the road? Yeah, so it's not just about, oh, that it's raining that I'm going to be driving slowly. It's just about what's happening around you as well. So remember, normally we'll be in the left, but right now I'm in the middle because there's too much water on the left there, and it's not going to be safe. Once I can see there's no more water on that side, I'm going to move back to the left when it's safe for me to do that. So lots of surface spray right now from other vehicles as well. can see the left side is not puddly anymore, so once I go past these two motorbikes, I'm going to think about going back to the left, if it's safe to do so. If there's nothing in the left lane stopping me from doing that. So now, I've gone past them, check my mirrors. Once I can see the second moped, or the one closest to me on this mirror, I can signal left, check my mirror one more time, and then go into that lane. And then now I can cancel my signal straight away, because you don't want anybody coming from this side of the road or from the side roads thinking that I'm turning in there. So as soon as I change lanes, I cancel my signal. Whoa, see that big splash there? So you see, when I went through that puddle, the steering wheel pulled a bit towards the left. This is why you want to slow down a bit for them, especially, or you want to avoid them if you can, especially on fast roads. So let's say you're like on a country road and you see a big puddle like that and one wheel goes over it, it's going to pull it to one side and you can easily lose control that way. That's why, if you can, you should try to avoid them. Okay, we're going to take the next exit on the left here. So mirror, mirror, signal left. Go straight into the slip road. I see a lot of learners go here and then they'll try to go into the slip road afterwards. Go into the slip road nice and early, as soon as it opens up. Here we're going to be joining this road, so I'm going to go into second gear for this. I see a big bus on the right there. He's letting me through. Yeah, he's even flashed me as well. Thank you, sir. I'm going to go into the other lane, so I'm going to turn right. But this car is not slowing down, so I'm just going to go behind him. Like so, looking to the right nice and early. Check in. It's clear, and then I can move. So another thing about driving in this kind of rain is road markings are really hard to see. So you need to be super careful when you're stopping, making sure you're not blocking any keep clear signs, making sure you're not blocking any give way signs, make sure you're not blocking any box junctions, because the rain makes it hard for you to see them. And just be wary that other people might not see road markings that apply to them as well. So they might not see give way signs or give way lines that might apply to them. Can't see this person's indicator, so I'll slow down a bit. I thought they might be turning there because I couldn't see. I thought I saw the indicator to the right. If it was a normal car, I wouldn't stop, because if they're turning, they have to wait for me. But because it's an emergency vehicle car, if I can stop when they're turning in front of me, and if I can stop safely, then I should.